everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. So tonight is a cook with me. It's 8:22 and I'm a little bit late cooking, but that's okay. We're still gonna eat. I'm doing a barbecue chicken and I'm also doing egg roll in a bowl. So I thought I'd bring you along with me as I decided to get my cooking done. And my camera guy has the worst face, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or it's just his face. Did the dog have, what's wrong? Oh, the bed. Well, I'm gonna teach you not to wear a shirt in the kitchen, buddy. So let me tell you quickly about my chicken, because this is not gonna take me long. I have in my oven 4 chicken thighs. They are bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. And all I did was preheat my oven to 400 degrees. I cleaned off all the fat, all the slime, just all the nasty stuff. And yes, I do clean my chicken. And I just put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 35 minutes. And this does have skin on. So I am counting this with Weight Watcher points. So I'm counting this as 1 point per ounce because it is bone in and skin on. I could have taken out the skin and the bones, but I decided to leave it. I seasoned it, sliced up 1 onion, and it went into the oven. But I decided that I wanted it to be barbecue chicken. Well, barbecue sauce is a lot of points, but I was at Walmart and I found this sugar. This is G. Hughes. I have no idea who he is, but whatever. G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. For 3 smart points, it is 0. For 3 tablespoons, it's 0 smart points. So I'm going to use this, and I also added in some sugar in the raw. 5 teaspoons is 0 smart points. So I have here 12 tablespoons of this sugar-free barbecue sauce that I'm going to use on my chicken. So what would be the equivalent of 3 tablespoons per chicken thigh. And then I'm putting it back into the oven while I work on my egg roll. So I'm just going to get my baster brush and I'm just going to baste this barbecue sauce on. It smells good. I tasted it a little bit before to make sure that it was going to be okay. Tasted fine to me. Alana even thought it tasted okay. And then I actually put a little bit of cinnamon in here. So Jackson is not getting scarlet chicken, he's getting cinnamon chicken tonight. So barbecue sauce, the sugar-free, 5 tablespoons of the sugar in the raw for the whole thing. And then probably a half a tablespoon of cinnamon, maybe, and of course adjust that to your taste. And so this is a 0 count barbecue sauce. And it doesn't even look like I'm going to use all of it. So I'm just basting that barbecue sauce. I'm putting this back into the oven while I work on my egg roll in a bowl. And we're going to be eating here before too long. Okay, so there's still some left. I didn't use all of it. This is going back into the oven, a negative. Jackson's like, Mom, I'll eat it for you. It's a negative, sir. Alrighty. And I'm only letting that cook until my egg roll in a bowl is done. So I have my handy dandy wok. You get this at Walmart for $4 and some change. Turn on your heat. And so if you saw my post earlier, I went to my nutritionist today and we were sitting down having a chit chat. And I actually lost 6 pounds since the last time we met. And so she gave me a bottle of olive oil. And this is considered a healthy fat, which I need to have more of. I have not had any oil and very little butter since I started Weight Watchers. It's just not something I'm willing to use points on. But this is a very healthy. I have some inflammation issues every now and again. If you remember, my knee was swollen for about 8 weeks. And then I have some issues in my hand. So we're trying to figure out if it's something that I'm eating or trying to eat more anti-inflammatory food. So I was excited to get this. It's 200 milliliters, and this is supposed to have a very high amount of oleic acid. So I'm going to give it 1 tablespoon a whirl and see how it goes. That's if I can get it off. You can tell I'll be doing these little tops too often. But let's see. No, he's still over there trying to get a taste. The devil is so busy. Okay. I'm going to use this half a tablespoon just so I can measure this out right. I do measure. Since I've been doing Weight Watchers, I have measured almost everything that I have put in my mouth just because I want to. Oh, look, I got the one out. Because I want to be right with my points. So I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon of the oil, which I'm going to go ahead and put in. Look, it has a cork. How neat is that? Awesome. That's awesome. I mean, fill it to the brim because you got to count them points. So that is 1 tablespoon that I'm just putting in the bottom of my wok. I just love the bottle. I think it's really pretty. And I am going to spray the sides with a little bit of just spray oil. I'm such a spray oil-aholic right about now because I'm afraid to eat anything actually, for real. So what I'm going to do, I had some cabbage left over from doing the cabbage casserole the other day. So I'm going to take the cabbage and I'm just going to rough chop it. I'm going to rough chop it and throw it in. Now, I eat cabbage all of the time. Let's taste that, Jackson. Want to taste it? Probably was a little better with some balsamic vinegar and a little bit of bread, but we won't mention it. So I've gotten just some large slices of the cabbage, and I'm going to just dice it and throw it in. I'm going to turn that heat down just a smidge. Get all the pieces that are already small in there. So if you like cabbage, I mean, this is a great recipe. I didn't get it from anybody. It just came out of my brain. Probably picked that up from Trandon when he was little. We would say, Trandon, who told you to do that? He would say, my brain. So I'm sure that's where I got it from. I got all these knives up in here. I got that from my grandmother. Today is her birthday. Today is my grandmother's birthday. She was born August 15th, 1926. Of course, she's been passed for quite a few years now. So, but it is her birthday. If she was alive, we would be celebrating with her. So I'm going to put a little more of the cabbage in there. And I'm using all of this because it's been sitting since I made the cabbage casserole the other day. And we do like cabbage at our house. What I'm hearing is if you're on a weight loss journey, it is really good in aiding that process. I just like cabbage because my grandmother cooked it. She cooked it Southern style. I don't do that anymore. I used to cook Southern country quite a bit. I still do cook Southern country on holidays, but every day is not a holiday. So I had to cut that all the way out. Alright, I'm going to get all that cabbage in there. I'm almost done chopping up what I had here. You can smell that barbecue sauce. I smell a vinegar base to it. But I can smell the cinnamon that I added. Jackson says we need smell-o-vision. He might be right. And then I'm just adding in the last of what was in that bowl. See if I can't find me a... I can. And so we're just going to give it a quick stir. I do like to saute cabbage, even if you just wanted to eat plain cabbage without all that boiling, because that's how my grandmother used to cook her cabbage. She would boil it for days and days. But if you just saute it up real good, I am going to turn that heat up just a little bit because I can tend to it now. It's going to get a little bit of char on it, but I don't want to make it burnt. I just want it to be translucent. I'm not going to add any liquid to it right now because I'm really just trying to saute this down. But I am going to add in a few things. I've got some celery that's getting ready to go bad. So I'm going to just use my handy dandy shredder and shred in some celery. Get more shreds. I really keep forgetting to do this in my bowl, which I should be doing. This should be done in a bowl. And I probably need a box grater. I do have a food processor, but nobody was getting all of that out. It was a big fat no. So I'm going to add in that celery. Add in whatever root vegetables you like. If you're doing weight loss, if weight loss is your focus, root vegetables are your friend. They are very, very low in calories, and you can have a lot of them to bulk up your meal. It's what I use to bulk up my meal. I'm actually not going to add any more of that celery in there because I've got some. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and start stirring around this cabbage. We're going to add some stuff. I know it looks plain right now, but we're getting ready to add some stuff. Check on my chicken. Oh, the chicken looks really, really good. Alright. I'm going to nix the carrots because I don't feel like chopping them, so it's a no. And I'll save the pepper for another meal. Clean up my area. Now, I believe in seasoning food real well. This is pink Himalayan sea salt. I found this at Aldi's for $1.99. You can use regular salt if you like. This seems to be the craze among all the YouTubers, so I'm just going to give a couple of those. Here's some onion powder. I use this in almost everything that I make. I'm going to throw in a little bit of Mrs. Dash. No salt, but a little bit of color. Pepper's already in there. That was a big cabbage. Alright. So let's just saute, saute, saute. Now, if you don't want to cut up a cabbage, you can get Southern coleslaw will work. You can get, and they have that in your grocery section. Southern coleslaw or any type of a coleslaw blend. You can get and use that. So my cabbage is now becoming translucent. The other day I was at Food Line, and they had tubes of turkey for $2 and some change, so 2 pounds. So yesterday I went ahead and browned up 2 pounds of turkey, and then I measured it out into 8 ounce servings. So 4 servings of 8 ounces. So when I put this in Recipe Builder to see how many points this is going to be, I'm going to divide this by probably 6 to 8 servings, and I'm going to have to divide this turkey by 6 to, and this is just regular ground turkey. There's nothing else in it except onion, celery, and peppers. And I had it in the freezer. We pulled one out. So I'm just going to toss that in. Because your egg roll, if you have a pork egg roll, I know there's some meat in there somewhere. But this is just turkey. There's no pork. It's all turkey. Okay. Alright. So that, of course, adding in from out of the freezer just brought my temperature down. So I did turn my temperature back up to kind of get it going a little bit more. And what I want to do is break up all of that turkey meat so that every piece of the cabbage has some of the turkey meat. And I'm just going to keep on breaking it up until it's not frozen anymore. Also, what that's doing is helping to promote the cabbage so it cooks a little bit faster. What I do find is when I cook it in my wok, it cooks slower than if I cook it in my frying pan. And sometimes I don't have time. I have no time. I hope y'all had a good meal. You see, I'm just a slacker. We didn't eat yet. I went to the gym, though. I'm down 6 pounds. Yay. I take it. I'm losing like a turtle, but that's okay. I'm still losing it. Don't y'all find it, though. Don't let it stay lost. Alrighty then. So to this, and remember I said root vegetables, especially of those of you who are trying to lose weight, or if you suffer from high blood sugars or high blood pressure. I did use some salt in here, but not a lot for this whole medium cabbage. Yesterday I cooked some cauliflower rice, and I added some chicken thighs to it. I shredded up the chicken thighs that I got on the markdown sale. So in here is the leftover cauliflower rice, and that's also 0 points. So it's not going to cost me anything. And then there's a little bit of broccoli in here. So I'm adding that in because we got to eat it. Now when you think about your egg roll, because I know some of y'all like, really? What is she doing? Okay, if you ever had an egg roll with the egg roll wrapper and you take it apart, there's a lot of stuff in there. So I'm just adding a lot of stuff in mine. And it's going to be good, I promise. Ask my kids. Like, that's the only reason I think they love me is because I cook for them. I'm almost certain. What you think, Jack? The smile tells it. He's like, well, Mom, you know. Just saying. And so this pretty much, in a sense, is done. But what I want to do is I want to cook it so that the cabbage doesn't have crunch. I am not a crunchy cabbage person. I didn't grow up eating it that way. I don't like things like bok choy and stuff like that, so I don't want to hear anything crunching in my ears. So what I'm going to do is just keep on stirring. And then also to try to, when I put the rice cauliflower in there, cauliflower holds a lot of water. So there was some liquid that went in here. So what I want to do now is just really cook it so that it gets dry. And I'm just going to put, really? She hears somebody driving their car in their neighborhood and she is upset. I'm going to put 2 or 3 splashes of this Kikkoman soy sauce. I probably should have the low sodium, but I don't. So just forgive. I said 2 or 3, right? Yeah, okay. I ain't going to measure. It's really going to be okay. Good job. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all about to take that chicken out because let me tell you, it's doing something to me. We get ready to be grubbing. I wish y'all were here. We'd have a cup of coffee and I'd probably make y'all a dessert. But since you ain't here, I ain't making these kids nothing. Nothing. There'll be no desserts up in this kitchen. Nothing. He's like, except the mug cake, Mama, right? Yeah, whatever. And don't forget, if you were looking for that barbecue sauce, it's called G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. This is the hickory flavor. It's gluten-free, only 2 carbs per serving. So if you're diabetic, this is probably something that you might want to try. I'm just trying to stay as low carb as I can. It has 0 sugars, but no protein either. So, of course, I'm trying to stay high protein, low carb, although I'm not doing Atkins. I'm still counting Weight Watchers Smart Points. So, anyway, okay. So, all I'm doing now is pretty much just waiting for some of that liquid that's at the bottom to just kind of dry out, and that's coming from the cauliflower that I added in. I didn't add in any other liquid with the exception of the few shakes of the soy sauce. And again, it's to your liking and to your taste. I know one recipe calls for like a cornstarch slurry. Negative, not doing any of that. but this is going to be very low in smart points. I could probably have a cup and a half to 2 cups of this. Maybe it'll be a point just because of the turkey meat that's in there, but I doubt that. I'll do the points in my recipe builder and let you know. I'm going to plate this up because my chicken is done, and that's pretty much done as well. All right, stove's off, chicken's done. So chicken's coming out. Oh, Lord. So that chicken cooked out, just there's only a little bit of juice left down in there. That barbecue sauce, these are chicken thighs. I do have some caramelized onions at the bottom of that you can actually throw on top of your egg roll in a bowl. So that's done. The chicken thighs are 1 point per ounce. That includes the bone, that's with the bone in. So I'll weigh that out before I eat it. And then the egg roll in a bowl. You can add carrots, I mean whatever you like in your egg roll, but this is pretty much going to do it for us tonight. Turning that off. Going to plate up a plate for myself. Let's see. What looks delicious? We only need 1 fork. Okay, I'm going to do this one chicken thigh just because they look good and it smells good.
Going for something transformation.
And then I'm going to add in or do 1 cup full of the egg roll in a bowl. And if I had to count, I would probably say that this meal is maybe 4 smart points. And then I probably could have more of this if I wanted to. So thank you so much for stopping by our kitchen. We hope you picked up a tip or trick or something that you can use with your family. And until the next time we cook, bye.